Kwagga station in Pretoria West caught fire in the early hours of this morning, causing massive blackouts. This is on top of an already stressful situation with load shedding and Eskoms, and Tshwane residents are now feeling more pressure as this substation has been off since the incident this morning, since it caught fire. Right now I do have the acting executive mayor of Tshwane, that is Abel Tau, to talk to us about the current situation in Tshwane. It seems to be a sort of a double whammy situation for the residents of Tshwane. We have load shedding, but now on top of that, this substation here, which provides electricity to a huge number of residents, is also down.
Absolutely, Sipho. It is unfortunately what we woke up to, that this substation that carries about 60% of the load capacity of Tshwane caught fire in the wee hours of this morning. Now the unfortunate part is that this infrastructure was not built to be switched on and off as it currently is, and unfortunately you find ourselves in the situation that we find ourselves in with load shedding. The surge in current ensured that we find ourselves with a situation where it bent down. As you can see behind me, the two transformers bent down completely, but we have been fortunate that the teams have been here. We have managed to isolate, and we have managed to bring back about 90% now of the people who were affected originally by this.
All right, you're saying that this station was not designed for switch on and off. So are you blaming the current load shedding issue as the cause of this incident that we had here?
Not necessarily. All I'm saying is that it is not assisting in the situation that we find ourselves in that the current infrastructure was not built for current conditions. And for that reason, it requires all of us to then go back to the drawing board and say, how do we ensure that we get more protection for our equipment and infrastructure to ensure that the current conditions do not affect us like they did today?
Give us an estimate of the number of residents affected by this in Tshwane. Just how massive has all of this been?
Look, it had covered anyone from the CBD, I think from the N4 all the way to Atteridgeville, up from Pretoria West all the way to Soshanguve. That's about 60% of the city of Tshwane. Now, if you think about the 3.2 million residents of Tshwane, 60%, you're talking about 2.4 in and around that million people that would have been affected by this. That is also the nucleus of your industry and your economic activity that happens in the city is covered and fed through the substation. So substantially it had crippled the city substantially.
All right, and now just very briefly, you said you've managed though to contain the situation and restore some of the power. How far are we with that process?
We have contained the situation. We have restored power to up to 90% of the residents are back online now. Everyone has got power. We've got Soshanguve on, we've got Rosslyn, we've got Pretoria West, Atteridgeville, as well as Sunnyside CBD. So all those areas are back on. There's just a few others. We urge obviously everyone where they still do not have power to report our power failures through the normal line, your 012-358-9999, but also to treat all wires and sockets as live.
All right, and do we know how much this is going to cost the city?
The rough estimate preliminarily, we're looking at anything between 150 million to 200 million, which is why the leader of government business is here, to ensure that he is appraised on the spot on what might need to be done and how deep into the city coffers we might have to go to make sure that we restore and repair this. The lead times on these transformers is anything up to 18 months. So we need to move swiftly with ensuring that we can restore this power station to full functionality, so that we don't find ourselves in a similar situation.
Let me just speak to your colleague over here. Say if you can just come a bit closer, swap positions. The mayor introduces you as the leader of business. If you can just give us your name, and your official title.
Thank you. My name is Richard Moheta, MMC for Human Chat and Corporate, and also the leader of executive business.
So you're talking about a leader of businesses. How much is this affecting businesses in Tshwane?
It affects a lot, especially our industries. So what needs to happen is we need to come up with a measure to expedite, to make sure that we give them proper funding so that they can fix and also extend their scale, so that we don't have this problem. We can't have 60% of capacity on one side. We just need to spread it a bit.
All right, well, there you have it. These are Tshwane officials just explaining to us the impact of the substation that caught fire earlier on. And perhaps, Mr. Mayor, if you can just show the viewers at home what's happening behind us currently. We see that the firefighters are still busy trying to make sure that they put out the flames here. There's still some smoke that's coming through, but as the Mayor said, that the situation has been contained. About 90% of the power from this substation has been restored, and with that, it's back to you in studio.